started At Home with Music in January 2021 during the pandemic. And as the channel has evolved, it has come to be directed more towards mature piano students, either those who are new to the piano or those of you who are coming back to the instrument after maybe even many years away. Now, I usually say near the end of my videos that you can leave a comment in the comment section, and I make every effort to respond to every comment. And so far, I've been able to keep that up for the most part. But one thing I have not done is share some of these comments with you. So what I'd like to do is go back to the beginning of 2025, and I'd like to share some of the comments that I've received on one video in particular, plus another comment from a second video. Some of my videos have garnered a lot of response. Others, maybe they've only received one or two comments, and that's okay. I wanted to share some of my favorite comments from this one video in particular. In January 2025, I did a video titled, Discover the Amazing Benefits of Playing Piano as a Grown-Up. In that video, I talked about how learning the piano later in life can offer a range of benefits, both practical and emotional. I invited viewers to discover some of the key benefits of learning piano as an adult. So I wanted to share with you what some folks had to say about this. That noise you hear, by the way, is my dog chewing on a bone. She's laying at my feet here. So one viewer wrote, I just started learning piano from a friend who teaches piano and loaned me her beginner's books. I'm really enjoying it. Another viewer commented, 66 here. That's right around my age. I'm a little older than that. 66 here and brand new to piano. Thanks so much for this positive and encouraging message. Keep up the great work. I responded, I certainly will try. Another person writes, I just started to learn at age 46, and with the help of a friend who normally teaches piano to kids. She mostly just loaned me her books and answers my questions. It does all those things you said and deepens our friendship. What a wonderful thing that is. Another commenter said, hello, this is a wonderful video. I've been teaching piano for more than 30 years, mostly children, but also 60 plus. And I agree to what you say in this video. Very good. Best wishes. I had to respond to that one, and I said, I'm so glad to learn that you've been teaching piano for over 30 years. You've given a wonderful gift to so many. Another comment I received, I agree with all you say, but be careful. Playing music is addictive. How do I know? At home, my mother had a piano which I often sat at and played by ear. When I left home, I missed playing so much that I had to buy a musical instrument, and so I learned to play an acoustic guitar. I had to respond to that one too. I said, you're certainly right about music being addictive. I found music playing so addictive, I made it my career. And interestingly, I married a fellow musician who just happens to play guitar. And of course, we had a piano in the house when my father got one, and I used to sit at that piano and play it by ear. Eventually, I learned to read music. Another commenter wrote, thanks for this post as an older adult learning piano for the first time. It is good for me to hear the benefits when I get discouraged trying to make my fingers and brain work properly to play the music. I'm using kid books to teach myself since the lessons are short and amusing, but I find some parts are difficult to master. A benefit I have noticed is if I'm tired and sleepy when I begin practicing, I feel less worn out by the time I finish. And so to that I say, yes, music can be very energizing. I've gone to play gigs when I wasn't feeling well. By the end of that night, I felt much better. I always try to encourage as well as teach. I know what it's like to get discouraged with your musical progress, but I've also experienced all the benefits that I talked about in that video. And so I wish to this commenter, as well as all the others, I wish them well as they continue to learn. And here's another comment I received. Watching your videos from Brazil's Northeast region. And I love your way of teaching. Sharing knowledge has no borders. Thank you. I'm a beginner student at age 42. It's like a dream becoming true. Another commenter wrote, I couldn't agree more. I started learning it last year. I'm turning 54 in October, and I'm glad I can finally play my old-time Beatles songs, especially Long and Winding Road. I used to play it on guitar, but it really didn't have the same impact. You know, it's interesting. I just talked about that song in a recent video where I talked about the songs that Paul McCartney wrote using the piano. And indeed, it has more power when you play it on the piano. And then occasionally, I will do a tutorial where I show you how to play from a hymnal, which is an art in and of itself. And in one video, I demonstrated, this was still in early January of this year, 2025, I demonstrated how to play the hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness. And I received a question in the comments that I have actually heard asked several times before. I also mentioned in the video, by the way, that I started playing the piano in 1969. And I've been playing in church almost every Sunday without interruption since 1971. So the commenter wrote, 1969? You've been playing piano almost as long as I've been alive, LOL. Why are most hymn books written in keys that are too high to sing? Great Hymns of the Faith is one of the few I've encountered in a more mid-range singable key. My answer was, in the older hymnals, the hymn tunes are arranged in 4-part harmony: soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And back then, music education was more prevalent in schools. And so most people learned how to read music, and they also learned their vocal range. So when the hymns were sung in church, everybody sang their part. Now, can you imagine what that sounded like? And so the melody is actually the soprano part, which is the highest vocal range. Now, some of the newer hymnals have begun lowering the keys because they realize that most people are going to sing the tune. So those are just some of the comments I received from just 2 of my videos. And I share these not to boast, but to encourage. I am so grateful to be able to share what I have learned over the years and reach people from all over the world. I plan to continue doing this for as long as I am able. And if you have any comments or if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in future videos, I hope to do some like this from time to time, where I share with you some of the wonderful comments that I have received over these few years that I've been doing At Home with Music. It's really encouraging to me, and I'm so thankful that people are responding to the videos. So, like I say, if you have any questions, any comments, leave those in the comment section. I will do my best to respond. Also, if you'd like to support my work, you can go to my Patreon page. The link is in the description. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed to the channel, who like the videos, and who have chosen to support At Home with Music financially. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. There goes my dog, Canina Bonita. As soon as I finished recording the video, he decided to take off. Are you hiding behind the keyboard there? Okay.